For Poland, joining the agreement would be a major distinction. Of the 30 NATO member states, only 5 are among the strict beneficiaries of the program. They include Italy, Turkey, Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands. In view of Russia's actions taken to deploy tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus, we appeal to NATO as a whole for Poland's participation in the nuclear sharing program. The final decision remains with the Americans, but we do not want to sit back while President Vladimir Putin escalates all kinds of threats. We declare our willingness to act quickly on this issue. Countries participating in the NATO program receive nuclear warheads from the United States on a loan basis. You can declare the beginning, but the process itself requires very far-reaching discretion. It's not that simple, despite appearances, because it assumes certain installations that must also be put in place as part of this program. So it's not the kind of initiative that will be created overnight. I think at least several months. Participation in the program is supposed to be Poland's response to Russia's decision to arm Belarus with tactical, short-range nuclear weapons. Experts point out that in the wake of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the risk of using nuclear weapons remains heightened. They also regard the planned deployment of 8,000 Wagner Group mercenaries in Belarus as particularly worrisome. We are dealing with a complicated but clear game by Russia to upset a certain strategic balance in relations with the United States. The Russians are seeking to dismantle virtually all disarmament agreements, the entire legal network that was built up in the 1970s and then in the 1980s, the purpose of which was to stabilize the situation at the strategic level. Polish pilots would be trained by the Americans to carry nuclear weapons. However, for this purpose, Polish aircraft would have to be properly equipped, and a military base with appropriate infrastructure would have to be established in Poland. Firstly, for it to be possible to safely store these bombs during the time of peace, but also so that it is safe to use these bombs when war breaks out, so that they can be transported to appropriate shelters, hooked up to selected aircraft, which would be prepared here to act as carriers, and later so that it is safe to send these planes into the air. NATO nuclear sharing is 100 B-61 bombs that are stored at selected air bases across Europe. However, there is no shortage of voices saying that the agreement may violate the principles of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Any agreements and treaties starting with the Budapest Agreement have been virtually violated by the Russian Federation. Ultimately, it is the U.S. president who makes decisions on the launch of warheads, so full control over nuclear weapons is not de facto available to any of the countries covered by the agreement. In this situation, it is not an escalatory action. It is a typical deterrent action, so it is a preventative action to prevent aggressive intentions. Poland has been taking steps to join the program since 2015. We currently spend 60 billion zloty, or nearly 2.5% of GDP, on defense. Additional strengthening of NATO's eastern flank by having Poland join nuclear sharing would also provide greater security throughout Europe.